Assalamualaikum and good night. Today, I will present about hazard at fiberglass workshop. 1.1 Background of cases. Fiberglass refers to a strong, lightweight material that consists of thin fiber of glass that can be transformed into a woven layer of used as reinforcement. Fiberglass is strong and stiffer than carbon fiber-based composites, but less brittle and cheaper. Fiberglass is versatile and considered a foundation of the composites industry. It has shown excellent strength, low weight, bendability, and dimensional stability. Fiberglass is commonly used in aircraft, boats, automobile, swimming pool, storm tanks, roofing, pipes, and cables. 1.2 Scope of audit. The health, safety, and environment audit in fiberglass. The standard operating procedure (SOP) of personnel during working on fiberglass workshop shipyard. The hazard identification in a workplace and evaluation on impact chemical waste on environment. Risk because the chemical subtains to health and environment. 1.3 Purpose or objective of the audit. To identify all factors that may cause the export of hazard chemical fumes in fiberglass laminating section. To develop adequate and effective means of disseminating safety and health information on materials and process to employees through proper instruction and training of employees. To minimize danger by warning workers and obeying the given rules. To enable employers to plan, constantly implement and monitor measures to prevent hazard to ensure risk control is maintained. 2.2 Audit Team. Our audit team responsible for preventing any accident or incident to happen in order to minimize the possibility of hazard and risk to health and environment. Task: distribute checklist and audit form. Person in charge: office worker. Responsibility: the audit checklist and audit form should be prepared. The task: site visit. Workplace: person in charge, top management and task force. Responsibility: to inspect the condition of the place of work. Task: PPE inspection. Person in charge, task force and workers. Responsibility: to make sure the safety and the condition of PPE is working and maintained properly. The task: prevent inspection. Person in charge, task force and workers. Responsibility: to make sure everything flowing properly through the vent smoothly. The task: material inspection. Person in charge, task force and workers. Responsibility: to make sure materials arranged in the correct order to be safe from any danger. Determine related legislation regarding hazard, related law or regulation, Industry Code of Practice on Chemical Classification and Hazard Communication amended 2019. Penalty: violating the prescribed act will receive a penalty such as paying less than 15,000 ringgit. 4.1 Technique for hazard control. 1. Elimination. 2. Substitution. 3. Engineering control. 4. Administrative control. 5. Personal protective equipment (PPE).
Methods to control hazard. Elimination. Removing a hazardous task, tool, method, gadgets, or substance may be a good way to protect workers. For example, due to the risk of explosion, a salvage fleet may decide against purchasing and chopping up scrap bulk gasoline tank. Substitution. While substituting the risk may not eliminate all of the risks associated with the way or interest, it may add a new one. The overall damage or fitness effects may be reduced. Engineering control. Engineering controls entail rethinking a method for putting a barrier between a person and a risk or casting the risk away from the person, such as equipment guarding, proximity guarding, extraction structure, or moving the operator to a remote position away from the hazard. Administrative control, adopting broad working technique or secure work practices, or providing appropriate education, instruction, or knowledge to decrease the capacity for harm and damaging fitness consequences to men and women are examples of administrative controls. Administrative restrictions include tactics such as isolation and work permit. Personal protective equipment: gloves, spectacles, earmuff, apron, safety boots, and dust masks are examples of personal protection equipment that can be designed to reduce exposure to the risk. PPE is usually considered the last fire of the defense and is typically employed in conjunction with one or more of the other control measures. Schedule and date for hazards control action plan. 1st July 2019. Collect existing information about workplace hazard and input from workers may include surveys or minutes from safety and health committee meetings. 2nd July 2019. Conduct regular inspection of all operations, equipment, work areas, and facilities. Take photos or video of problem areas to facilitate later discussion and brainstorming about how to control them and for use as needs. 3rd July 2019. Identify chemical, bicycle, and biological hazards as well as ergonomic risk factors. 4th July 2019. Develop a clear plan and procedure for conducting incident investigation so that an investigation can begin immediately when an incident occurs. Costs related to hazard control implementation. Item: PPE set, unit 18 set. Price per unit RM100. Total is 8,000 Malaysian ringgit. RPE set, unit 18 set. Price per unit RM50, and the total is 4,000 Malaysian. High rate monitoring schedule. Every day, before and after shift, check every person's entry log that comes in and out of the fiberglass workshop conditions, and inspection for new hazard. Every week, inspecting and analyzing the processing hazard that occur in work and prepare potential hazard reports. Every month, PPE condition and maintenance inspection and briefing all staff on safety awareness. High rate post audit checklist. Checklist need: is the working condition getting better? Is the PPE properly maintained and utilized? Is the employers in good condition? Is there proper follow-up to the hazard controls? Does it raise the risk of hazard? Are there new hazard traits that pose a danger to employers and occupational safety and health? And the last one is, does the new chemicals used for laminating present a new risk to the employers for health hazard?